everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with another live and unedited Rogue Rant. And what am I ranting about today? The cost of politics as usual within Sarasota County. And this could be any county anywhere in the United States. Political decisions often result in unintended consequences which have a significant impact on the common folk. Me, you, the common folk. The problem is that most politicians feel the residents are dumbed down from their busy lifestyles, from watching too much TV, playing too many video games, and other distractions. Meanwhile, the politically connected and politicians are using this to push through their agendas that continue to financially impact the taxpayers negatively. Let's just take a look at Warm Mineral Springs, that whole debacle, and how it could cost the city of Northport an extra $200,000 because elected officials at the city and county level could not leave their personalities at the door and do what's right for residents. Having a leader like Barbetta on the county commission get up and walk out during the city-county meeting is not going to bring about agreements among the parties. Now the county wants to sell their half versus continuing to operate the springs on a temporary basis for yet another year until a resolution can be reached. Yes, let's pay the monthly expense with no monthly income. Sure, I can see where that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense, can't you? Not really, folks. It is a terrible idea. A terrible idea. And their inability to communicate and work together between these two government entities is going to cost the taxpayers. How about Susan Chapman? Lovely lady. She's the Sarasota County Commissioner, or Sarasota City Commissioner, sorry. While she was the president of Hudson Bayou Neighborhood Association, she used her political influence and lobbied the city to move the lift station out of her neighborhood. This cost the city around $10 million. Money well spent? I think not, folks. Now we get to have her using her political clout as the city commissioner to make even more politically connected decisions. Like right now, the Sunshine State law violation that Barfield brought up against her and another commissioner. The other commissioner settled, not Chapman. She'll have nothing to do with it, and she continues to waste our taxpayer money. How about when the Northport City Commissioner Cook decided to rally with her neighbors and get Bayflight relocated because the noise of the helicopter leaving to save some life within the county was just too much for this golfing community? Well, too loud until they needed the Bayflight services. Luckily, the area rose up through venues like My Scoop pages, and the commission put a stop to forcing Bayflight to relocate, which is great for situations like yesterday when we had the plane crash out of Caspos, and it probably has saved that little girl's life. Then there's the lovely city of Venice, which I grew up in. It's such a we have such wise city commissioners as Bob Daniels. Here's a commissioner that tries to get ordinances changed if he cannot get a garbage can removed for Herb by using his influence within the ordinance department. Yes, the apartment complex was not breaking any ordinances. County code enforcement went out there on several occasions, but that doesn't stop old Bob, no. As Bob thought, hey, let's amend the ordinance to force compliance. And he's not the only politician doing this. The mayor did it once too. We cannot forget when he had the city workers look twice at the weekly trash pickup to see if it would save money if the city would change to this once-a-week pickup. Bravo, this is a great idea. That's what we put the politicians there for. Save us money, do the right thing. The city employees came back though and said, hey, look, we did an analysis. It does not show any financial savings. Guess what though? Their opinion wasn't good enough for Bob. So why'd you have him give it, Bob? Bob felt that the employees may have come out with this report that favored not eliminating city jobs to save jobs of their fellow city employees. So the lovely Bob Daniels decided to ask the council to bring in a consultant for over $30,000 of our hard-earned money, our hard-earned tax dollars, and bring in another consultant. And guess what the results were, folks? You guessed it, the consultants came back with the same results as the city. More money thrown down the drain because councilman wanted an answer that fitted his own agenda. Unfortunately, this is going to continue, folks, because people like Bob Daniels went unchallenged and walked right into another term in the same position. How about the homeless consultant, Dr. Marbury? The cities of Venice, Northport, Longboat, Sarasota, and the county of Sarasota has spent over $120,000 on this guy's services. For this, we have basically been given a 12-point plan, which covers what most of the local agencies and politicians already knew about and how to deal with the homeless that are out there. One idea is to come up with the facility, which is a come-as-you-are facility, which is estimated to cost about $9 million to start up and about another $1 million to operate. Would any of you be surprised if I told you that a local radio personality told me that he offered to purchase property for the city of Sarasota prior to any conversations were started about bringing in a consultant, which could have been used to help the homeless and get them out of the tourist area? The politicians won't tell you that's what they want to do, but that's what they want to do. Yes, he was going to purchase the property for about $800,000, then sell it back to the city for $1. He was going to even cover the operating costs for a year. Yes, this very idea went nowhere, folks. And then some local politicians, which I will not name, took that same idea, that same concept, and sold Doc Marbert on doing it for $9 million. Then some of these very same politicians decided, hey, they told the county, yeah, we're on board. They wanted those residents and the citizens to see that they're all about solving the homeless problem. Guess what? When they found out it was $9 million, when they found out that there was a lot of disagreement on where to place this homeless facility, everybody wants to help until it's in their backyard. This lovely city of Sarasota decided to pull out and said, well, we're out of this. The county, you're on your own. What a lovely group. And now we get two of those city commissioners running for a county seat. Yes. And it's in a runoff. The winner of this will go against write-ins, and they're guaranteed the seat. I remember when they brought the consultant in, and I was not a huge fan. I attended the meeting here down in Venice. I'm not a fan of all the money that municipalities spend on consulting. It's an enormous amount, folks. And when I try to get information on how much is spent, it's very difficult to get that actual number. I think we have enough knowledgeable people within the city and county, enough leaders, political and non-political, that can come together and put together their own 12-point plan. And I think many of you would agree with me. After all, the issue is not coming up with the plan, it's implementing the plan. The politicians all jump on board without really asking any questions. They just want to ensure that during the public forums, all the residents would see how much they supported helping the homeless. So they voted to take action and hire a consultant and look great in the citizens' eyes. Yet many of the politicians were not thinking, just like Paul Cargiulo stated during my interview, that he was not a fan of bringing in the doctor. I think he realized, as many other politicians did, that voting yes would make them look great in the public's eye, and then the public would not pay attention to the issue, the political roadblocks down the road like we're having now. And many of them aren't really paying attention, folks. So they played that card right. Voters will have their choice to view this from a financial standpoint, with the taxpayers on the hook to continue paying for the politicians and their bad faith maneuvering, or to look beyond the money and focus on what bad faith means to them and their individual city and our country, which go beyond those dotted lines, folks. Mounting fees from political follies are not helping at all, and indeed are costing us far too much money. The sum of all those costs, monetary and otherwise, should be enough for the taxpayers to demand more accountability from their leaders. So remember, folks, get out there on August 26th. It's your decision. The runoff is basically going to decide who gets the county seat, who gets many of the House representative seats, and many of the different political seats out there. So get out there and make your vote count. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with another live and unedited Rogue Rant.